or Wisconsin Supreme Court election. And just for full disclosure, I am working on fundraising for Joe Voiland, but since Ozaukee County is so close to Milwaukee County, many of us do business there and know many people there, so I would like to introduce you all to Joe Voiland. Forgot to mention he's running against Tom Wolfgram, who has the indistinct mark on his record of signing Governor Walker's recall petition. So we need to work for him. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here as a guest from the North Shore in Ozaukee County. One thing I wanted to do, I knew when I came here tonight I would run into a number of people that I knew. The first person I ran into here when I came is Chuck O'Clair. And a lot of times we just focus on the people who are up here on the podium talking, the people who have the title. Chuck O'Clair is back here. He's got the Rebecca Bradley sign on his mobile thing, whatever is the right word for it. I met Chuck a couple of years ago doing the Prosser-Clappenberg recount. I was there every day for 6 weeks, first in Milwaukee County, then in Waukesha County, representing Justice Prosser before the canvassing board. I was lucky because I got paid. That was my job. Chuck was there along with so many other volunteers who got up every morning and showed up there 8 o'clock in the morning for nothing, for the good of it. So this is Chuck back here. One thing that Brad Courtney just talked about, we're going to talk about tonight, is the importance of the judiciary in our government. We can have the best governor in the country. We can have the best state legislators. But if we have state court judges who do not understand that they are not the governor and that they are not the legislature, that the laws that the governor and the legislature put together are nothing more than words in a book. They're nothing more than words in a book. And this principle, people ask me, they like Laurie did, they find out, well, you're running against this Judge Wolfgram in Ozaukee County. He signed the recall, big deal. I'm going to try to explain in my 3 minutes now, because I had 5 and I'm down to 3, why that matters. Why that matters. Now, at the risk of sounding like a law professor, don't confuse me with Ed Filone. Or as we say in Ozaukee County, Filoni. I will try to explain in this 3 minutes why this matters. This principle, the separation of powers between the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary is fundamental to any Republican little r, Republican form of government. Without it, as we said, the laws that we make, the constitutional rights that we have are for naught. As Justice Scalia is fond of saying, as the founders wrote in the Federalist Papers, any banana republic, and banana republic is Justice Scalia, not the founders, but any banana republic can write you up a Bill of Rights. But without the separation of powers to secure your rights, the words in the Bill of Rights are nothing. So I'm here tonight and I'm running for circuit court in Ozaukee County because my opponent doesn't understand the principle of the separation of powers. My opponent doesn't understand the difference between law and politics. And I can tell you he doesn't understand the difference between law and politics because he was asked by the newspaper about getting publicly getting involved in the recall. And he said it was okay to do as a judge because the recall wasn't political. Now, I have 3 kids. They're 12, 10, and 7. They have never seen anything as political and never will in their lives, I hope, see anything as political as the recall. The fact that we have a circuit court judge who says the recall wasn't political. This is why I'm running. And the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. Why has the U.S. Supreme Court told us that voter ID is constitutional, but we don't have it in the state of Wisconsin. Why? Because we have a state court judge that blocked it. Why did we see our state capitol turned into chaos? When I think of our state capitol a little while back, I think of a European soccer game at a youth hospital. That is what our state capitol became way back then. Why did we have that? Because judges allowed it. And judges not only allowed it, they encouraged it. 29 of them signed on publicly to the recalls. And my opponent is one of them. I understand the difference between law and politics. My opponent does not. My 3 minutes are up. I cannot ask you for money. Judicial candidates cannot do that. As Laurie mentioned, she's working with me. I can ask you for your prayers and your support. Thank you very much. Woo!